Let's call a spade a spade. Standard thyroid testing is woefully inadequate, and millions of women are suffering because of it. You wake up after 9 hours of sleep still feeling like you've been hit by a truck. You drag yourself through your day forgetting why you walked into rooms, while also trying to juggle work, family, screaming kids. You're freezing when everyone else in the home is comfortable. Your skin is so dry it cracks and it bleeds. Your hair is coming out in handfuls in the shower each and every morning. Your joints ache for no reason. And when you bring these concerns to your doctor, your TSH comes back normal, 3.1. And you're told everything looks normal. Maybe you should just try an antidepressant. Exercise more, or just accept that it's part of getting older. Welcome to another episode of the Intentional Health for Women podcast. I'm your host, Garrett, GQ Query, and today we discuss thyroid. I've seen this exact pattern firsthand in my own health journey at 19. I weighed 400 pounds before having gastric bypass and losing 180 pounds in 18 months. Instead of improved health, I developed low testosterone and hypothyroidism at the age of 25. My testosterone went untreated until I was 29, and it took another 4 years before discovering my hypothyroidism and getting gaslit by the Western medicine community. Not Hashimoto's in my case, but I've worked with hundreds of clients who've dealt with elevated thyroid antibodies and Hashimoto's hypothyroidism. Through my own health battles and viral load issues that likely contributed to my hormonal dysfunction, I learned how conventional medicine often misses crucial pieces of the puzzle. It took seeing multiple doctors and years of suffering before getting proper testing and treatment. This is exactly what happened to women like Becca, who came to me after being told for years that her fatigue, weight gain, and brain fog were just part of being a busy mom. She had TPO antibodies over 600. Multiple doctors had only tested her TSH and told her everything was fine. Becca was struggling to get through her day, under eating Monday through Friday, trying to be good, then falling apart on the weekends with wine and whatever food she could find to give her energy. She wasn't lazy. Her body was literally fighting against itself, and the standard medical approach was completely missing it. Today, we'll show you why thyroid antibodies matter even when TSH is normal, the critical tests that your doctor probably isn't running, the key factors driving your autoimmune response, how to begin addressing the root causes of Hashimoto's. And I'll do it without asking you to follow some extreme diet, eliminate entire food groups forever. Although oftentimes with Hashimoto's, gluten and dairy may need to be removed forever. Or spend thousands on supplements that may or may not even help your specific situation. Standard testing misses early stage Hashimoto's. Becca came to me frustrated after gaining 22 pounds despite doing everything right. Her doctor had checked her TSH and told her it was fine at 3.4. But when we ran a complete thyroid panel, her TPO antibodies were over 600. Clear evidence her immune system was attacking her thyroid. No wonder she felt terrible. Her body was in a constant state of inflammation, yet according to standard testing, there was nothing wrong. Most doctors only test TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone, and maybe if we're lucky, we'll get a T4, which is going to be the storage form of thyroid, or also the inactive form of thyroid hormone. But thyroid antibodies, specifically TPO and TG antibodies, can be elevated for years, even decades, before your TSH becomes abnormal enough to flag on a standard test. This silent phase of Hashis is where you experience all of the symptoms of hypothyroidism while being told everything is fine. During this critical window, your immune system is actively attacking your thyroid gland, causing inflammation throughout your body, affecting everything from your metabolism to your brain function and joint health. If you're experiencing hypothyroid symptoms, insist on testing TPO antibodies, TG antibodies, your free T3, your free T4, and not just TSH. Don't let anyone tell you it's not necessary or won't change treatment. It absolutely will change your approach if you know what to do with that information. The gut is a gateway to autoimmunity. When Becca first came into me, she was trying to manage her symptoms by skipping meals during the day to keep her calories low, and then having wine and whatever easy food she could find on the weekends to cope with the exhaustion. The never-ending brain fatigue. This pattern was actually worsening her gut, creating a vicious cycle of increased intestinal permeability, also known as leaky gut in mainstream, that was fueling her autoimmune response. We discovered through testing that she had a significant reaction to gluten and dairy, not surprising given the protein structure in gluten bears a striking resemblance to thyroid tissue. For her body, eating a sandwich was essentially giving her immune system target practice against her thyroid. By identifying her specific trigger foods and healing her gut, her antibodies dropped by 30% in just a few months, and her energy began to return without that afternoon crash. She had come to see that as normal part of her day and just part of aging. The gut houses 70 to 80% of your immune system. When gut health is compromised, whether from food sensitivity, stress, antibiotic use, or other factors, the barrier between your gut and your bloodstream can become permeable, allowing partially digested foods and particles and other substances to enter into circulation. This could trigger an immune reaction throughout the body, and through a process called molecular mimicry, certain proteins, especially gluten and dairy, for many Hashimoto's patients, can confuse your immune system into attacking your thyroid tissue because of structural similarities. This is why improving gut health is absolutely fundamental to reducing those thyroid antibodies. This doesn't mean you have to follow some extreme elimination diet forever, but identifying and removing specific trigger foods while healing your gut barrier can dramatically reduce an autoimmune attack on your thyroid. Appropriate training trumps excessive exercise every time. Like many women with undiagnosed Hashimoto's, Becca was pushing herself through intense cardio sessions 5 to 6 days a week, desperately trying to lose weight that kept creeping on despite her efforts. She read that she needed to move more and eat less, but this approach actually was making her condition worse. Her body perceived this excessive exercise as additional stress, amplifying the autoimmune response. We completely restructured her approach to exercise, cutting back cardio to walking and introducing strength training, just 3 days a week. Within weeks, her recovery had improved. Her sleep was deepening. She started seeing definition in her muscles again, something that had seemingly disappeared despite all of her previous hard work. Most training advice is based on people with optimal hormone health, not someone whose body is in an active state of autoimmune attack. For women with Hashis, excessive exercise, especially high-intensity cardio or daily training splits, can actually worsen inflammation, increase cortisol, and further dysregulate your already stressed hormonal system. The key is to train in a way that builds resilience rather than adds stress. This typically means prioritizing resistance training 2 to 4 times per week, walking daily for stress reduction and gentle movement, allowing full recovery between training sessions, avoiding long endurance exercise during flares, matching training intensity to your current energy and stress levels. This doesn't mean becoming sedentary. In fact, appropriate exercise is essential for managing Hashimoto's. But the type, frequency, and intensity matter tremendously. For autoimmune conditions, stress management is a non-negotiable. The turning point for Becca wasn't just changing her nutrition or her training. It was finally addressing the chronic stress that had been driving her condition for years, between work deadlines, family responsibilities, and constantly feeling like she needed to do more despite her exhaustion. Her stress hormones were perpetually elevated. We implemented a non-negotiable daily stress management protocol, just 10 to 15 minutes each day of specific parasympathetic activation techniques. Say that 10 times fast. Within weeks, her sleep improved dramatically. Her energy became more stable throughout the day. Her food cravings diminished. Most importantly, when we retested, her antibodies had dropped significantly. Evidence that reducing stress was directly calming down her overactive immune response. Chronic stress is one of the most powerful triggers of autoimmune flares and is consistently overlooked in conventional treatment. A groundbreaking study demonstrated that specific stress management program reduced thyroid antibodies by over 60% without changing anything else. When you're chronically stressed, your body produces cortisol and other stress hormones that directly influence immune function. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't make cortisol the devil. We need it. Over time, this stress response can dysregulate immune cells, causing them to become more reactive against your body's own tissues. In this case, your thyroid. For women with Hashimoto's, specific stress management and sleep protocols can make or break your results. Parasympathetic nervous system activation techniques, sleep optimization to maximize overnight repair, circadian rhythm reset practices, mindfulness practices that have been proven to reduce antibody levels. This isn't optional self-care. It's essential medicine when dealing with an autoimmune condition. Targeted supplementation based on your unique needs. When Becca first came to me, she was taking random assortment of supplements she had read about online, spending over $300 monthly, yet seeing minimal improvement. After testing revealed her specific deficiencies in vitamin D, selenium, iron, all critical for thyroid function, we implemented a targeted protocol that costed less than half of what she had been spending. Within months, her hair shedding reduced dramatically, her energy became more consistent, and her body temp normalized. She wasn't freezing all the time anymore. These improvements weren't coming from taking thyroid supplements. They came from addressing her unique nutritional needs based on actual testing. The supplement industry is a billion-dollar industry built on generic solutions for specific problems. Most women with Hashimoto's are wasting money on supplements they don't need while missing the ones that might actually help their unique specific situation. For Hashimoto's, certain nutrients are particularly crucial. Selenium supports thyroid hormone conversion and reduces antibody levels. Vitamin D is essential for immune regulation. Iron is required for thyroid hormone production. Zinc plays a key role in thyroid function. Magnesium supports energy production and stress response. But optimal dose and combination vary dramatically from person to person, and taking the wrong amounts and forms could sometimes make things worse. This is why indiscriminate supplementation rarely works. Your supplement protocol should be based on your actual lab work and specific needs, not what worked for someone in a Facebook group or what an influencer is promoting this month. Hashimoto's thyroiditis isn't just a thyroid condition. It's a whole body inflammatory process that requires comprehensive approach. Standard medical care that focuses solely on TSH and synthetic hormone replacement is missing a bigger picture. By addressing root causes, identifying food triggers, healing your gut function, implementing appropriate training, stress management, targeted supplement strategies, and targeting your nutrient deficiencies, you can reduce antibody levels and dramatically improve symptoms, even when conventional medicine has failed you. You don't have a willpower problem. You don't have a discipline problem. You have an autoimmune condition that requires a completely different approach than what you've been doing. If you're tired of being told that your labs are normal while feeling anything but, if you're exhausted from pushing yourself through workouts that leave you depleted for days, if you're sick of dealing with brain fog, fatigue, hair loss, and weight that seemingly will not budge no matter what you try, then it's time to look deeper. Testing your thyroid antibodies is just the beginning of understanding what's really happening in your body and what you can do about it. Your symptoms aren't in your head. Your struggles aren't because you're not trying hard enough, and you don't have to accept feeling this way forever. If this episode brought you value, taught you something, or made you feel seen, please follow and share with a friend. Remember always, we are not normal, we are intentional.